You belong in hell! Sam Smith belongs in hell! You demonic, twisted, sick bastard!
To know about how you feel.
From being a kid, I've felt very restricted by the male gender.
Sam Smith's latest antics have cost them millions in lost deals and alienated fans. Industry insiders are calling it career suicide. But is this really the end for the once beloved star? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Let's break down how Sam Smith went from Grammy darling to Hollywood outcast. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Remember when Sam Smith was just that sweet voice behind Stay With Me? Yeah, those days are long gone. Back then, Smith was the darling of the music industry. Chart-topping hits, Grammy wins, adored by fans and critics alike. They had it all, but things started to change, and not in the way anyone expected. In 2019, Smith came out as non-binary. At first, everyone was all praise and support. Oh, so brave! What an inspiration, but you know how Hollywood is. Those raised eyebrows started appearing real quick, or suddenly Smith wasn't just about the music anymore. They became a symbol, and symbols are tricky things in this industry.
Non-binary and they, them, and all these things, and I was like, oh my god, this is a place where I can exist, and it was magical.
Smith started pushing boundaries. Their outfits got more provocative, their statements more controversial. It wasn't just about pronouns anymore. It was about challenging every norm in sight. And let me tell you, some of those industry bigwigs weren't too happy about it. The whisper started. Is Smith going too far? Are they doing this for attention?
Sam Smith is back again with more attention-seeking vulgarity. They're never one to do things quietly in recent years. We have to...
You know how it goes, but Smith wasn't backing down. If anything, they were just getting started. And then came the 2023 Grammy performance. Oh boy, that was something else. As the tipping point approached, you could feel the tension in the air. Everyone was wondering, what's Smith gonna do now? Well, they didn't disappoint. Or maybe they did, depending on who you ask. That satanic-inspired performance, it didn't just ruffle feathers. It plucked the whole damn bird. Conservatives were outraged, sure, but even the liberals were like, whoa, hold up. It was too much for pretty much everyone. You'd think that would be the end of it, right? Smith would apologize, tone it down a bit, get back in everyone's good graces. But nope. Turns out the Grammy fallout was just the beginning of Smith's troubles. They were about to learn the hard way that even in Hollywood, there's such a thing as too much controversy. Hollywood loves to pat itself on the back for being so progressive, right? Well, turns out even Tinseltown's got its limits. And Sam Smith, they just crashed right into him.
I didn't realise this about me because when I first brought out Latch with Disclosure, I think I was trying to impress all the straight guys around me, so I would be wearing...
Let's talk about why Hollywood's starting to pump the brakes on the woke express. For years, Hollywood's been all about progressive causes and celebrities. They couldn't get enough of it. Every award show speech was a chance to talk about some social issue. Every red carpet was a political statement. It was like they were competing to see who could be the most woke. But here's the thing, there's a fine line between empowerment and just being annoying. Some celebs walk that line like pros. Others, not so much. Take Joaquin Phoenix. He used his Oscar speech to talk about animal rights. People ate it up. But then you've got celebs like Lena Dunham who seem to put their foot in their mouth every time they open it. It's like, we get it, you're woke. Now can you just act or something? Now Hollywood's starting to sweat. Those box office numbers for super woke films, they're not looking so hot. People are getting tired of being preached at when they just want to watch a movie. It's like going to a restaurant and getting a lecture about veganism with your burger. Nobody wants that. Word on the street is there's a woke backlash brewing in those fancy Hollywood boardrooms. Executives are starting to realize that maybe, just maybe, they've gone too far. They're asking themselves, how much wokeness is too much wokeness? It's like they've been on a sugar high of social justice, and now they're crashing hard. Here's the kicker. Hollywood insiders are actually admitting they've got limits. Can you believe it? The industry that loves to lecture everyone else about being open-minded is saying, whoa, let's dial it back a bit.
I don't get this Sam Smith thing. It just seems like every week he deliberately...
They.
Why is one person they?
Because that's how they identify.
Why have I got to go along with it?
It's like watching your super liberal aunt suddenly start complaining about kids these days. And Sam Smith? Oh boy, they're about to find out the hard way that even Hollywood has a line you shouldn't cross. It's like they took all that wokeness, cranked it up to 11, and thought, this'll show them. Spoiler alert, it didn't work out great, but we'll get to that in a minute. Remember when Sam Smith decided to go full villain? Yeah, that didn't work out so great. After the Grammy debacle, Smith thought, why stop there? And cranked up the controversy to 11. Their music videos, let's just say they weren't exactly family friendly. The video for I'm Not Here to Make Friends had outfits that would make even Lady Gaga blush and dance moves that had parents covering their kids' eyes.
I see Rihanna or Madonna, I fall to the floor.
Still, really, to this day?
Oh my God, of course.
I read somewhere, by the way, that Lady Gaga once got you in a little trouble.
At first, some fans were all about it. Yes, queen, express yourself. But then things got weird, like really weird. Social media started blowing up with people asking, is this too much?
Should somebody try out your album right now?
You should try my album because we all need a bit more glitter and gold in our lives. And
even die-hard Smith supporters were feeling uncomfortable. It's one thing to push boundaries, but Smith was practically bulldozing them. Did Smith care? Nope. They doubled down harder than a blackjack player with a bad hand. Every time someone criticized them, Smith would go on about self-expression and breaking barriers. But come on, at what point does self-expression become just plain attention-seeking? A lot of people were starting to wonder. The industry started getting cold feet. Suddenly, Smith wasn't getting invited to all the cool parties.
To know about how you feel.
from being a kid, I felt very restricted by the male gender.
Radio stations were playing their songs less. It's like Hollywood was saying, maybe let's pump the brakes on this whole villain thing. You'd think Smith would take the hint, right? Wrong. A big career opportunity came up. We're talking major exposure, chance to win back some goodwill. Everyone was wondering, will they tone it down? Ha! Smith went and pulled their most controversial stunt yet. We're talking canceled deals, fans jumping ship faster than rats on the Titanic. As Smith's star started fading faster than a cheap spray tan, Hollywood bigwigs were sweating. They realized maybe, just maybe, they'd let this whole woke thing get out of hand. It wasn't just about Smith anymore. It was about the whole industry. How much is too much? Where's the line between progressive and just plain crazy? Looks like Sam Smith found that line, and then somersaulted right over it.
You belong in hell! Sam Smith belongs in hell! You demonic, twisted, sick b****ers!
Now Hollywood's scrambling to figure out what to do next. One thing's for sure, the days of any publicity is good publicity are over. Who knew being too woke could put your career to sleep? Sam Smith's career nosedive was just the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, Hollywood bigwigs were sweating harder than a vegan at a BBQ cook-off. What if audiences were done swallowing their force-fed wokeness? Turns out even Tinseltown has its limits on how woke is too woke. Who knew? Celebs started distancing themselves from those extreme progressive stances faster than you can say cultural appropriation. It's like they suddenly realized maybe, just maybe, lecturing people 24/7 isn't the best career move.
What would you say to people who are like, okay, I sort of understand some people feel they're in the wrong body. I've heard this non-binary thing.
And those box office numbers? Ouch, they don't lie, folks. Audiences are tired of being preached at when they just want to watch a damn movie. It's like going to a comedy show and getting a TED Talk instead. People are voting with their wallets, and woke isn't winning. Hollywood execs are scrambling to find a new balance. It's hilarious watching them try to figure out how to be just woke enough without losing all their cash. Some stars are doubling down, thinking more woke is the answer. Others are backpedaling so fast they might as well be in the Tour de France. The industry's in chaos, and it's kind of fun to watch. Word on the street is a major studio's about to drop a bombshell. Everyone's on edge, wondering what's coming next. Will they go full conservative? Nah, that's not Hollywood style, but something's gotta give. And boom, there it is. A studio actually admits that all this woke content has been hurting their profits. Can you believe it? They're talking about refocusing on entertainment.
Do you get starstruck at all in your career anymore?
I do, with the pop divas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What a concept, right? Making movies people actually want to watch instead of just trying to score woke points. So where does this leave Sam Smith and all those other ultra woke celebrities? Probably feeling pretty awkward right about now. It's like they showed up to a party in full costume, only to realize it wasn't actually a costume party. Oops. The Daily Mail's reporting that this whole wokeness thing is seen as a threat to the industry now. They're saying it's driven out traditional narratives and white male representation. Who'd have thought we'd see the day when Hollywood worried about not having enough white dudes?
Remember, call him they, their, them, even though there's only one of them.
So Hollywood's woke bubble didn't just burst, it blew up right in Sam Smith's face. Talk about bad timing. Smith thought they were riding the wave of progress, but turns out they were surfing straight into a tsunami of backlash. Oops. The lesson here. Maybe being super woke isn't the golden ticket to stardom after all. Who'd have thought that constantly lecturing people might not be the best way to win fans? Crazy, right? What's next for Sam Smith? Who knows? Maybe they'll double down and go even more extreme. Or maybe they'll try to win back those old fans who just like their music. Either way, one thing's for sure. Hollywood won't be the same after this. The days of woke washing everything are over. Turns out people just want to be entertained. Who knew?